I just want to preface this by saying I do not own any content or music content that is shown or played in my videos. I only own my voice, the stories, and the characters that I'll be writing, reading, and creating with. I will let you know in the description if they are another person's, and I will state which characters are mine and which are someone else's. Hope you enjoy. It had been years since the shadow incident, and things have gone back to normal. So much of that whole thing had become a distant memory, or a bad dream to everyone. They all now have children and are living normal lives. That was all about to come crashing down. Sarah and Krista were currently talking on the porch as their kids ran around, playing, talking, basically just being kids. Sarah's phone went off and cut Sarah off. She checked the number and answered it. "Boss? Hey, what's going on?" Sarah asked, putting the phone to her ear. "Sarah, we need you to come to the station." "It's bad, Sarah," her boss said. "Okay, I'll be there soon," she said and stood up, putting her phone away as she walked to the car. "Mom, where are you going?" her daughter Skylar asked her, making Sarah turn. "I am needed at the station, all right? I'll be back before you know it," she said with a smile. She gave her daughter a hug, and Skylar ran off to help her little sister with her sign language. Sarah arrived at the station and was greeted by a riot. She ran to the station and looked at her boss. "What the hell is going on?" Sarah asked, glancing at the windows. "Riots about the mass suicide rates. They demand we do something about it," her boss explained. "Wait, mass suicide?" Sarah asked, her expression becoming concerned. "We hope you can find some correlation between all the suicide notes we found and the method of death," her boss told her as she nodded, running off to her desk. "Stand back, all of you!" Rose yelled at the crowd, pushing people back. The crowd screamed and Rose was tackled to the ground, and a member of her team tased the person, and Rose quickly stood. Sarah looked over all the notes, videos, and cause of death. Her eyes went wide at the connection. A distorted voice, a shadowy figure, slow and painful death. Sarah muttered to herself, "Here we go again. The shadow. Round 2. Sarah drove home and walked inside and went straight to her room and got her own training gear from back when she was a rookie. She put the bag over her shoulder and walked downstairs as Krista walked up to her and Sarah just pushed past her. Krista grabbed her arm. "Sarah, what's going on? You're scaring the kids," she said. "The shadow. It's returned. And it has more tricks. Now instead of one person it's going after, it's going to multiple people with mass suicides," Sarah stated. All the kids looked at the two sisters with confused and concerned looks. They kept talking for a few minutes until the news turned on and made them all look at the TV. "This is a warning. There seems to be mass suicides in these areas. So please, if you know or see anyone about to commit suicide, contact your local authorities," the news reporter said, and the news shut off. Sarah let out a breath, and the kids looked at her. Skylar signed to Quill what was going on, then hugged her. Francis pulled out his phone and texted Emma, telling her to come over, and everyone else stayed frozen. Sarah muttered some curse words under her breath as she set her bag down, and she went inside. Around 30 minutes later, everyone was sitting in the living room, staying silent as Sarah was on her laptop, messaging people and looking over data. Skylar walked over the door and opened it, only to get hugged by her boyfriend Daniel, and Emma walked in and went straight to Francis and hugged him. "Thank God you're okay, Emma. When I heard the report and saw your area as one of the areas with the highest suicide rate, I feared the worst," Francis said and held on to Emma. "I feared for the worst, too, in your area as well," Emma said, and Francis kissed her. "Daniel, can you let go of me? You're crushing me," Skylar said, and Daniel's grip loosened as Skylar gets a breath of air. Skylar and Daniel sat down on the couch, and Francis and Emma go out to the backyard as Sarah kept working. They were all spending time together like it was their last day they were ever going to, and they just stayed close to each other. Skylar and Daniel were sitting in the living room when suddenly Skylar was thrown into a wall and Daniel was grabbed and choked out. Sarah and Krista ran to the room when they heard the commotion. They only saw Skylar on the floor shaking, holding the back of her head as blood leaked from it. She was crying. Sarah ran over and slid her side. "Skylar, what happened?" she asked in concern. "Daniel. They took Daniel," she said, and Sarah looked at Krista. "And so it begins," Krista said.